Namaste YouTube, welcome to Cafe Enoma and welcome to our first time single take honest reaction to two songs by Split Ends in this one video. These are requested by our patron Juliet, and the first song that we will be reacting to in this video is Poor Boy by Split Ends. Poor Boy. Oh, poor boy.
Yeah, let's get started with it and have a discussion about the song later, how we liked it, how we enjoyed it, and whether we found the lyrics relevant, useful, could we connect with it, could we not connect with it.
It has been a great start to our session today with two AHA songs. Both were, mesmerizing. Mesmerizing.
Let's listen to Split Ends now. I think it's a completely different cup of tea.
Hope so. Yeah.
Different genre even, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get started.
My love is alien. I picked her up by chance. She speaks to me with ultra high frequency. Radio band of gold. Gonna listen till I grow old. What more can a poor boy?
Oh, this is kind of emotional. At the same time, it's a good song. It's emotional and good. Limited lyrics, but it was a short song, so obviously we can overlook that. It seems to be about a poor boy who's picked up a radio set from somewhere, and that is his companion and guide for as long as he has it. That's his like his girlfriend or soulmate. He's just listening to the radio and
forging connections with
yeah,
things, right?
whatever's being said, whatever's being sung. In earlier days, I'm assuming this may be from the 70s or 80s or early 90s. In earlier days, when the radio played, it was usually music. There would be a small, um, couple of hours for news and things like that. But most of the day, it would be playing music. So he's just going from station to station, listening to the music, forging a connection with it, enjoying the music, feeling sad with it, feeling happy with it. It's all about that, I mean, and what more can he do? He doesn't have anything else really to play with. He doesn't have any other toys. He doesn't have games. He doesn't have a smartphone. All that he has is his radio. Today, if you actually see what comes on one smartphone, one smartphone, you have so
Wow.
many things.
The world.
You can hold a whole huge tray and keep all the things which come in one smartphone. The camera, the headphone, the radio, a radio set like this, the camera, a calculator, and so many apps which do so many things, So you have so many things that a smartphone can do. And in the good old days, this is all that this poor boy had. Today's world, the poor people may be more fortunate that they have a smartphone and maybe they can listen to so many things on it. They can do so much with it. They can play games, they can watch a movie maybe on YouTube, and they can watch shows, watch videos like ours. So many things can be done with a smartphone. But in those days when the smartphone was in there, this poor boy found this radio. What are your thoughts on this song? By the way, before Kirti speaks, I must say I loved his voice too.
Yeah.
Voice was very good.
I like the music as well. Music mainly done on the keyboard, I'm thinking. A lot of sounds created. And there was something going from ear to ear, small effects of the sound. So a lot of sound effects as well as the tune that was created was interesting. And you're looking at an interplanetary Romeo here. He doesn't know whether the person belongs to this planet or some other planet. All he knows is like he's found a newfound love for this character, this person, or maybe he's imagining everything. But anything that he's listening to on the radio, he thinks that's what he's in love with. I remember, once when we went for MAMI Film Festival, Mumbai International Film Festival, there was this Thai movie titled Batad. About
Batab, yeah.
Batad, D or B?
B-A-T-A-B, I think. Batab.
You sure? Okay. The movie looked gorgeous. The way it looks is amazing. Outer, maybe southern side of Thailand. Nothing to do with cities.
Rice fields.
Nothing to
on
do
the
with
hills.
cities. Yeah, it was
Hillside
all
slopes.
paddy farming on the hills. And some people over there who live, the farmers and their families, and a simple, very simple story around them. And what happens, a lot of tourists go till that area as well, where these paddy farmings are there. Of course, it's not like the cities, there are no roads, nothing, and you need someone from the local community to guide you till where you can go. You have to go safely, otherwise you may fall off or get lost and you will never come back. So there are local guides who may not be educated, but they know their work around. And there was this one lead character, this boy, who used to take people, he was a guide, and they would create certain characters in the fields just to show people this is exciting as well. What happened, one of the tourists got so impressed with him and they were so happy, they gifted him a pair of shoes, which were like, the terrain shoes, good for those hills and all. The moment he got those shoes, he had never seen anything like that. He used to be barefoot before that. Everything around his world was those two shoes. Everything that ever happened to him with those two shoes. He forgot, anything that used to be there in his life before that. The mountains, his family, he had a sister. He just couldn't care about anyone else but those two shoes. I mean, those two shoes caused a lot of problem. At the end, he had to chuck them away because, his sister was going to die because of his fascination and, love, too much love for those two shoes. More than wearing, he used to treasure it. And that's what used to happen. When we were young too, we would find certain things here and there which didn't belong to us, but we happened to find it like a treasure. And we would treasure it more than anybody else in the world. anything else. Anybody came close to it and we would be on guard. Like those animal instincts when cats give their kittens, babies, they are so cautious about it, they don't let anybody come close to it. That's exactly your instinct when you get something like that, like his radio at the moment. That's exactly how I felt about him. The poor boy is very much in love with it.
He is also referring to the radio as an alien. So I'm not sure if actually it's an alien who has some kind of frequencies and makes some noises or plays some music on that, or it's actually a radio. It seems like a radio to me on the first listen, but it could be actually an alien he's talking about. That he's got this alien who's dropped in and he's everything to this boy, poor boy. So that's about it for this one. We move on to our next song of Split Ends after a quick break.
Namaste and welcome back to our Split Ends reactions. After Poor Boy, not Radio Boy, we are going to react to Missing Person. This also should be interesting. Two interesting names, Poor Boy and Missing Person.
Yeah, let's get right to it. Split Ends.
Home to sweet home. It just occurred to me to be on my own, in search of bitter treats. I get so removed, but you never notice it. Step in my shoes, you'll see that I don't fit. I walk home the wrong way, hoping I'll go astray. I'd like to be a missing person. Eyes open wide, but all I see is black. You thought I was alright, just wait till you get back. There'll be no one home, and they'll stay up all night. Everyone I know, I'm wishing you good night. I walk home the wrong way, hoping I'll go astray. I'd like to be a missing person. I wander the highways, asleep in your doorways. I'm wanted, well I'm a missing person. Neon lights, I slip down alleyways, only safe and sound. When silence brings a chill, now my back is turned. I know I can't stand still. I walk home the wrong way, this time I'll go astray. I like to be a missing person. I wander the highways, asleep in your doorways. I'm wanted, I'm a missing person.
good song by Split Ends. Reminded me a bit about Rush at the beginning, the way it was singing, he was singing, the music. Reminded me a bit of Rush, and then it went into its own place towards the chorus. Nice song, and let's see what Kirti has to say about it.
I enjoyed it. This was more rock-like song than the earlier one. Prominent guitar playing, very interesting way of arranging the guitars. One was, I suppose it sounded a bit like in the distance, and one was in the front when it came in, and that made it interesting. The sound of the guitars was different. The way it was arranged was differently done. The drums were mellow, kept lower than the guitars, and his vocals were primary in the music. I like the way he sang, and the subject seems to be simple. Probably he doesn't like to be in the action. He likes to be missing from the action. So he finds himself away from home, straying, maybe finding the wrong way to go home. Maybe he doesn't like being home so much. He likes to be all around the place, but not in that place where he should be or where he belongs. He just finds it exciting. Probably he likes adventurous things, or that's how he's decided his life should be, like a wanderer.
Yeah, he finds it more interesting to be a missing person than being someone who's at home, because he's getting to see so many things. He thinks that's the lifestyle of a missing person, that he can roam around the hills, he can roam around the roads, he can sleep anywhere. He feels like he can do whatever he wants. So, step in my shoes, you'll see that I don't fit.
That line is very saying something. As if, at home he doesn't find himself fitting with other people. It happens in a lot of families.
There's definitely more to it than what we are just reading on our screen and what we heard. There's more to it than that. Perhaps he's a misfit at home, he's the black sheep of the family.
That's what, yeah.
Perhaps there's something about him that just, the others around him don't like him for it, or don't connect with him because of it, and he would rather be on his own. He would rather be away from that zone and do his own thing at his own sweet time. That's what he wants, because usually people like being at home. Usually they don't want to be away from home. They don't want to be a missing person, at least. When we talk about missing people, there are a lot of people who are missing in the world today. Every day, whether you talk about any part of the world, east, west, there are a lot of kidnappings, a lot of missing kids. More than missing individuals, there are a lot of missing kids and kidnapped kids, and they just it's sad that life goes on, but for that family and especially if it's an only child, or if it's a child which is very, very close to the parents, or the parents close to the child, it would be very difficult for the parents to get back to their normal life even a year or two after the child is gone missing. So it's a common problem, in the world that we live in, that there are a lot of missing children, there are a lot of kidnapped children, and it would be you just might, if you hear this song, maybe you hope that, this person is doing well and he's enjoying his or her time on the road.
Some cases,
he's enjoying being a missing person.
Yeah.
You hope for the best, but it's not going to be as good as it sounds here. It's usually a very, very...
There is a syndrome, I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome, if I'm not wrong, where the person who's kidnapped or abducted, that person starts enjoying being outdoors with the people who have kidnapped, because they didn't like back home so much as they start liking the life that they're getting. After being in the trouble, still they are enjoying their time. Something like that. So there is a syndrome as well about these topics, where people, because the situations at home, the scenario at home, the ambience at home is not that friendly or positive, that they like being somewhere where it may not be that good, but they still feel I'm in a better place than where I was.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
And ordinarily also youngsters do like being on their own. Youngsters, especially young boys, they like being out most of the time. There's a part of my life where I remember all of us, not just me, but most people like to be out. And
Didn't you run away from school on a couple of occasions?
not couple of occasions, more than 200 perhaps.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I had a track record for 2 years of my school life where I was considered. I mean, I was not known to be missing because I didn't show up at school. I would go till the school gate. My mother would drop me most days. So I would be dropped till the school gate. It was second and third grade I'm talking about. So I would be dropped till the school gate, and then I would wave goodbye to her. And once she was out of sight, I would go the other way. So I would just like to be on my own. It was tough though, looking back, whatever I remember of those days, it was tough for 5 hours to be, on your own outside. I would spend most of my times at the beach, it was a long walk to the beach. So by the time I would get there, I would be pretty tired, then rest over there for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then go back home walking from there. So it was tough, and most days I would have to go back to school because again my mother or someone at home would come to pick me up, when the school ended. So I would have to go back to school no matter where I was walking or roaming around or lazing around. So most times, those days there were a lot of parks.
Yeah.
My side of town, I think they must be there till today.
Yeah.
But in south of Mumbai, a lot of parks. So it was not difficult to spend a few hours, especially as a child. There would be other kids there. The kids, in those days, most schools would be morning, evening.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you would have the elder kids, the kids who are
sometime or the other, always
elder to me by a few years. They would be always there at the parks. So it's not like I was the only one there. So I would play with them. I would sit, enjoy, relax, do my own thing on the swings or whatever games were provided in the parks in those days, outdoor games. So it was a good time, but eventually I got busted, I got caught, and it was a huge problem at home. It was a huge problem in the school, and I had to quit on running away from school. So yes, there was a time when I did this kind of thing frequently at a very young age. But looking back, it was not easy. It was not easy. Definitely, if I was told that I ran away from school, it's not that I ran away from home. I love to be at home. So if I had an option of going back home quietly, instead of, that's what my mother told me. She said, if you really don't like school so much, you can bunk or you can stay home a few days every month, So that was a turning point for me because I could stay at home. I said, today I don't feel like going to school, and she couldn't do anything about it because she knew if she forced me to go to school,
he'll be out.
Again I will be doing the same thing. Yeah, so I kind of connect with this song on that note since you brought it up. But I was not a home. I loved my home. Until today I love my home. And I don't think even our kids, they love their home.
Yeah.
So unless somebody kidnaps them.
Here in India, a lot of children don't like going to school. They start crying. They would do so many things not to go to school.
I think most parts of the world is the same thing.
Okay, I haven't seen the others. But I've seen a lot of drama here.
Yeah.
A lot of drama.
Given a choice, if you
wouldn't go.
Kids whether they would like to stay at home or go to school, most people would say. But it's important for one's education, so stay in school. And it's important. I wouldn't be here, she wouldn't be here today, speaking so confidently, freely about different things related to the song if it wasn't for our education.
Wasn't for us.
Yeah, so that's about it for this one. Goodbye.